Prime Minister of the Lao People's Democratic Republic Thongloun Sisoulith leads a high-ranking delegation on a visit to Russia, attending the 20th ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit, which was held in Sochi on May 19 to 20th. Under the slogan, "Towards Strategic Partnership for the Sake of the Common Good," such gatherings becomes the biggest international event in Russia in 2016. Prime Minister of the Lao People's Democratic Republic Thongloun Sisoulith leads a high-ranking delegation on a visit to Russia, attending the ASEAN-Russia Summit in Sochi on May 19 to 20th. It is said that the ASEAN-Russia Summit, dedicated to the 20th anniversary of establishing relations of dialogue partnership between the Association of Southeast Asian Nations and Moscow, will help to define new goals of bilateral cooperation in the future. On the sidelines of the ASEAN-Russia Summit in the Black Sea resort of Sochi, Russia, Thursday, May 19, 2016, Lao Prime Minister Thongloun Sisoulith, as a co-chair of the ASEAN-Russia Summit, held talk with Russian President Vladimir Putin, stating that the two countries, as Russia and Laos, develop friendly ties. According to their talk published in Russian news agency TASS, Putin noted that Russians knew the Lao Prime Minister as a good friend. Vladimir Putin pointed out that he and Lao Prime Minister Thongloun Sisoulith received education at the same time and in the same city, in Leningrad, current St. Petersburg. "We both received education at the same time and in the same city, in my home city, Leningrad," Putin said. "Most probably we met each other in the streets." Putin said that Russia and Laos marked the 55th anniversary since diplomatic relations were established between the two countries, saying, "I am very hopeful that under your guidance we will be attentive to the past events, but certainly will look to the future in our relations," the Russian president said, thanking Sisoulith for his support in the idea to hold the Russian ASEAN Summit in Russia. Putin said he was glad to have an opportunity to discuss bilateral relations. In the meantime, Thongloun Sisoulith said he was glad to become a co-chair at the summit in Sochi, saying, "Tomorrow is a month since I was appointed as Prime Minister," he said. "We are having a meeting with you to mark this date. I would like to thank you for the efforts so that the summit can take place in Sochi." As ASEAN chair in 2016 and as a state coordinator of the Russia-ASEAN Dialogue Partnership, we need to exert all efforts for developing relations between Russia and the association, the Lao Prime Minister said, noting his intention to strengthen the two countries' bilateral relations as well. Also, Lao Premier Thongloun Sisoulith said words of gratitude for Russia's support to Laos in its national construction and praised the level of cooperation in investments and defense. Later, Prime Minister of the Lao People's Democratic Republic Thongloun Sisoulith attended the ASEAN-Russia Summit official reception to welcome the heads of state and government attending the 20th ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit, hosted by President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin. The gala dinner was held at Galaxy Community and Cultural Center, Krasnaya Polyana, Sochi. President Putin, in his opening remarks at the dinner, welcomed all ASEAN leaders and delegates to Sochi, the Russian Federation. The ASEAN-Russia Summit official reception was then graced with a cultural performance.